Hey, AOK Product Reviews. This is Rich. This morning, it's Friday, so everybody likes Fridays. When your life's good, every day's a Friday, though. That's me rubbing it in. This morning, I'm tired. I'm wore out. My body's just not what it used to be. I used to be able to take on a bunch of projects and not feel a thing. How much time do we still have when we start getting in our middle ages? So I'm 50. You don't have a whole lot of life left after you get more than halfway to where you're supposed to be at the end. So what do you want to do? Spinning my wheels. Life's too short. Is it really? It feels short. It feels fleeting. I mean, when you really think about it, yesterday feels like seconds. My 20s feels like minutes. My teens feels like an hour. My adolescence feels like a day away sometimes. I mean, really, I can hardly fetch a memory. I got a lot of good memories, so it's not like I'm avoiding fetching bad memories. I'm a firm believer in. Had a good conversation with a friend last night, and we both pretty much agreed on this. And he was saying it's a philosophy that one of his family members has, is purging. And then of course, I know what that meant, so what I was saying wasn't brilliance upon that statement, but it's purging toxic relationships, purging relationships and friendships and family. That's a big one for me because I don't speak to a lot of my family. And it's not like it's on purpose or I'm being spiteful. I just don't have time. I don't have time. And I don't have this unconditional family blood is thicker than water thing that runs through me. It may have a lot to do with, losing people early in my life. And when you lose that one special person early in your life, you kind of maybe disassociate yourself with the importance of the longevity of that. And what I mean is so I lost my mom when I was 15. And, she died of cancer. She was sick for about a year or whatever. I was in the peak of my teens, when you're 14, 15 years old, getting ready to get your driver's license, you're in high school. I was semi-popular kid. I had life to live. And I have regret and thoughts about I could have been a better son to her when she was sick. Because I didn't sit by her bed often or much. And she didn't want me to. That was a big thing about her that I really like and I took away from hers. She didn't want anybody to sit there and feel sorry for her at all. But, I know I could have been a better son, but I was who I am. Selfish. Maybe we're all selfish and maybe we're not. I feel like most people are. And I'm okay with it because that's just life. You only have one life and you're only you. You're nobody else. You can't live for anybody else. You can't make anybody else be like you or better or worse or whatever. You can't. There's nothing you can do. I have a family member who has a drug problem. I have two for sure. They have drug problems, and you know they're in their 40s, and they still have these problems. And you know, my family has spent the greater portion of their lives trying to help them fix their lives. They're in their 40s, getting ready to go into their 50s in a couple years, and they have no intentions of really fixing themselves. And all they do is crap on other people. And I don't think they do it really on purpose. I just think it's just something that's, when you have problems and you're deep into drugs, or if you're deep into just whatever it may be, it turns into maybe a really bad form of narcissism as well. So then all you think is the world rotates just around you, and maybe it is, and maybe it should for them and everybody. I don't know. I mean, I feel like a narcissist sometimes because I'm very concerned about myself and about my life and about how things go in it. And you know, and there's times where I've been way too free with my life as far as trying to help others that don't really need help, or they need help, but you don't have what it takes to help them, because I don't have what it takes to help somebody that has no concern for themselves, their health, for their well-being and others. You know, and this is, I guess, turning into specifically about my brother. And we've gone in and out of having close relationships and not so close relationships, because he's been in and out of drug scenarios in his life for his whole life. And all I can see and all I can remember is when he was a little kid, because I'm 7 years older than him. So that to me was unfortunate that I wasn't closer in age with him, to be closer to him. But it was also a fortunate thing because I got to watch the little dude grow up. And he was the cutest little kid, and he was the greatest little kid. And he was just athletic and funny and smart and cool and kind, and he was just a great kid. And then, you know, we all grow up. You know, I'm 7 years older, so, you know, I'm 18, he's 11 years old. You know, 1 year later, I'm in the military. Another year later, I'm in the desert, or void. He's 13 years old back home. And I come back and, you know, and he's a 14-year-old pothead. Don't get me wrong. I smoked pot for the first time when I was 14 years old. But I didn't keep doing it and doing it and doing it in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon. You know, I would do it on the weekends, partying with my friends or something stupid like that through high school. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. I don't know. But he grew fond of it, and then that, of course, turned into other, you know, the gateway drug thing. It's real. You know, if somebody says it's not real, walk away from those people, because, you know, alcohol, shit, a bad mood is a gateway drug into drugs. You want something to make you happy, happier. And that's why they do it. And they'll seek something out that is medicinal to get that. Because it's quick. It's an easy fix. But it goes away fast too. To maybe have a better time in that moment. Knowing, maybe even in a few hours, but definitely the next day, I'm not going to be glad I did that. It's not going to make me happier. Like I knew that then, and I know it now. You know, it's like, now I may choose to do it because, hey, you know what? I've had a hard day. I want to just numb myself and just kind of sit back in the chair, and maybe it'll help me not feel the aches or pains, or maybe it will take away something I'm angry about, or something on my mind heavy on my mind, maybe it'll do that momentarily. And if I can get it out of it momentarily, pretty much the next day I'll just move on from that. So I'm okay with that. So yeah, I'll probably drink medicinally as well. But I've gotten to the age where I can manage that. And I don't even want to say the age. I've just gotten to where mentally I've just said, hey, have a cocktail if you want. Don't have 5. Don't have even 3 sometimes. Maybe not even have 2, but just have 1 and sit back and just, I don't know. It's like an elixir. You're just kind of like, it greases the wheels. It does make it feel smooth for a little bit. I guarantee that. It doesn't make things go away. You do things, then you gotta do stuff that's just that you don't want to do, but you got to do it, and you've got to give yourself an accomplishment, even if that accomplishment was picking up a piece of trash that's been sitting at your feet or something. You got to accomplish something, and if you don't I believe in every day, every morning, I wake up to accomplish something. Even when I'm on vacation, even when I don't plan on it, I want to accomplish something. I want to get one thing done every day at least. Sometimes I want to get a bunch of things done. But then I want to go through the rest of the day, and I don't want drama. And I don't want stupid crap. And I don't want people to tell me about their stupid crap. I want them to do what I do. Suck it up. Fix it. Fix it yourself. If you broke it, fix it. If you can't fix it, live with it broke until you can fix it. Learn to fix it yourself. Don't have somebody fix it for you. I got broken things in my life that I can't fix. Some things are broken because I know why they're broken. I broke them. Other things are broken because I don't know why they're broken. And so, there's things out there that you may never understand, and you think you should, but you'll be like, man, why? And they don't tell you why. Is that a good friend? Maybe. Because we're not put on earth to scratch other people's backs all the time. It doesn't mean they're not your friend. It just means you're not high on their priority list. So maybe you need to reevaluate that friendship a little if you have high expectations of that friendship. Maybe you just got to say, okay, I can't count on this person to be there and do the things I want to do when I want to do them. Do you hear that? When I can't count on them to be there when I want to do something. That's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. It's your fault. When you get yourself to where you're relying so much on that person to be there when you want them to be there, and then they're not, and you get upset, that's your problem. It's not their problem at all. So what I suggest you do, because I try to do this as much as I can, because as soon as I start to feel that way, that aggravation at my friend, because they're not there, or won't be there all the time when I want them to be there, you have to purge yourself from that friendship. Not them from your friendship, but yourself from that friendship. I think some people get that backwards. I used to. And I'd be like, oh, screw them. They're not my friend anymore. No. It's not that at all. Screw myself for allowing myself to rely on on another person to be there for me all the time or at certain times. That's my fault. Investing too much of yourself into that friendship or that situation to the point where you're like, you get upset because it's not going the way you want it to go. I suggest you take a step back and reevaluate that friendship and say, hey, maybe I've read too much into that friendship, and I need to take a step back and say, hey, this person's still your friend. And when you see him, you say, hey, how you doing, man? Long time no see. Or you say whatever, and you say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Tell me what's going on. And that's it. No, you don't say that. You just be glad that you're seeing him again. Maybe on a much lesser frequency. And then you move on. Go about your thing, because you know what? That person obviously doesn't want to be, in your A team. And that's okay. Heck, I don't want to be in a lot of other people's A teams. I don't. Because if they don't tell you on their own, they don't really care if you know. So they've kind of made it clear. They make it clear right there. That's all you do. Or maybe you focus on yourself more. Maybe it gives you time to get more stuff done. Maybe it gives you time to reestablish a relationship with yourself from an isolated perspective, where you can just say, hey, I'm going to sit here on a chair alone this afternoon, and I'm going to relax, and I'm going to enjoy life, and I'm going to pet my dog, or I'm going to look at the sky, and I'm going to just relax and think about things. Maybe if you're a religious person or a spiritual person, maybe thank your God and thank God that you have the things you have that you do have. And if you want more, you think about how you're going to get more. What you got to do to get more.